Purification of Summer. I believe if you have your papers with you, it is number 27, so then that way you can catch your information. So the reason I called it the Purification of Summer is that one thing I've learned over time is that a lot of people who grew up in the city don't really embrace nature until it's warm or when it's comfortable. And I can tell from the people laughing that it's true. So one thing that I noticed lately was that I've been around a lot of people lately over the last year or two who have been trying to get out of the city and starting to embrace like warmer areas and things like that. So I actually had a friend who is the model that's in this image as you see right here, and they just said, hey, I want you to come out and check out this place, by the way, for just a little bit. So we traveled about, I believe, 2 hours from where I live in DC to check this out. So one thing that I definitely knew that when I came to this location, I was like, okay, I know how I want to shoot this, I know how I want to present it, and I know how I want to portray it to the world. So there are two technical things that I wanted to do with this. It is the rule of thirds and chiaroscuro. Now, if you don't know what those things are, don't worry, I'll explain. All right, so rule of thirds is the belief that whenever you look at an advertisement or a movie or a picture or anything, what do we look at? The center of the frame, exactly. So one thing that I always try to do is we play off of these 3x3 boxes. So what I did, instead of shooting straight on, I have her step over to the right. So then that way, when you look straight on, you know there's nobody here. But then you have to shift your focus over to this location. So then that makes the image a little bit more to look at and more to pay attention to. Now chiaroscuro is the second thing. Chiaroscuro is the study of light against dark. Now, if any of you have been through the William Mary Chase exhibit upstairs, that is one thing that William Mary Chase does a lot. And something that I've learned that I do also myself in my own photography, where instead of keeping everything like in the same tone or exposure, I try to keep the subject light and the background's darker, exactly. So then that way it gives you a sense of dimensionality. You're able to separate who's in the foreground as opposed to who's in the background, or what exactly. And the reason I chose a wider angle for the shot is because I felt like if I go and focus on just her, you would take away from a lot of the impact. I want the image to feel like you look at this image and say, where is this? Is this man-made? I want to be there. I want to have this idea. So I had to really pay attention to a lot of those details, because essentially as a photographer, what I'm made to do, or what I try to do essentially, is to take you into a certain person's world, even if you may know them or may be familiar to them, or just say, I never knew this was in Maryland. Like a lot of people I would tell that they was in Maryland, they didn't believe that. So technically a lot of what I do is to just try to keep everything dark, keep her in focus, get a lot of the motion in the image in the water also as well. And that's one thing that I try to do within my own photography with people that I work with essentially, because I want the action to be seen and I want it to be respected.